is over there. So guys, last week I talked to Grandpa Stig, my wife's grandpa, about no one wanting to buy my leftovers from milling, and that gave me the idea of trying to make a charcoal kiln. So right now I'm on my way to him because he told me like an old diesel tank. So I'm on my way there to check it out. He said I could have it, so let's see. That old thing made a good job out of moving that tank out of the pasture. Next up, I'm just gonna put this on some charging. Next up is to get a bigger tractor to move the tank up to the trailer. So I'm back at Grandpa Stig and I just bought this pile for around 100 euros, which is fair price if you ask me. Probably a great price if you ask someone else. For this coal retort, it's gonna be the pipe that leads back the fumes. I also found a set of what do you call it? I also found a set of chimney pipes. So at the moment I'm backing up the trailer. My wife's Grandpa Stig, he found a tank suitable for the fireplace. Loaded. Had to shut the car off to not start a grass fire. It's not that dry now, but you never know. Let's see if I can get her out of here. Jawohl. No problem. So it's a storm, to say the least, but now I'm popping these, yeah, it's like small riffs rivets. I'm popping the rivets.
Sen så kommer vi svetsa lite rum här. Du måste kolla i så här. Ser du? Kolla nu.
Wow, that was a proud father moment. My 5-year-old just wanted to try and actually did his first weld, of course with help of me. Burned down the entire workshop otherwise. But after the first one, he just said, another one, and then he was like, oh, I can do all of them if you like. Not too shabby. It's definitely shut. He did that one and that one. This retort won't be winning any beauty competitions. I'm not a welder, probably never gonna be one. Sorry, at least not a professional one. Let's see if I destroy the camera a bit. Looks good. Got some weld spots on it. For more stupid shit like that, I need you to bump up that subscriber number. Anyways, it was a big hole just like that, but now it's more like that. Just a burnt spot. And we're gonna make the same out of that one and that one. But yeah, let's go. So the next thing here is to weld the other two shut. We got only 2 exits left. Then we're gonna cut around the entire tube to get this, I don't know what you call it, this side of the tank off, because yeah, I haven't really decided yet, but I believe this side or this side is the best to have as the beginning. I would like to have it like an opening, and then the smoke gases will use the rounded edge on that side to come back and then up through the chimney that we're gonna build, that's gonna go into the fireplace, and then travel alongside the actual like kiln, that one, and then up through the roof of it from that other end. Yeah, the smoke will travel that way, and also we're gonna include the gases, that comes from the wood. We'll also go through a couple of pipes I'll show you soon. So yesterday I took the kids on a 5-hour journey, or road trip to get this ugly thing. It was around 50 euros, 50 bucks. The closest one was around 800, so bucks, euros, and looked just about the same. Anyways, I just hauled that into the shop. I just undressed it from the insulation and shit, just like I did on that one. We're gonna cut the lid of that one and weld all the openings shut and then match it with that one. So what we would like to do here is to just make a cut so I can get in with a tiger saw and basically do a circle. Calling Grandpa Stig. So guys, I had to take the car over to Grandpa Stig and get his, I think it's a gas cutter. I did try to make a small incision with the angle grinder and then use the it's not a tiger saw, it's a something R saw, and that didn't work at all. These quite expensive carbide metal blades, which clearly shows like a piece of big metal, didn't work at all, just shredded itself in like 2 seconds. So we're gonna cut it with gas, so that's where I'm at. And the air was out, so I need to make another shop round to fill up the air. But I also just did send a message to a guy for an inquiry, or he's selling a plasma cutter, a cheaper version but not a crappy one, good mark. for $250 or 250 euros. I'm gonna try to get that down a bit. But if I'm gonna use this for a lot of cutting, it's gonna be like break even on that. So we'll see. The guy with the plasma cutter didn't answer, so I only filled the oxygen tank. It was about 80 bucks. That's oxygen. Don't know what it is in English, but the acetylene was about 160 bucks. So yeah, plasma cutter would be cheaper. So ever since I was trying to cut that circle out, I did notice that it was all the way cut through, but even though it was all the way cut through, it didn't want to come loose. It was because it had a rod inside of it. So basically I had to cut out this piece that was sitting like that, but that didn't work, so I cut around it on this side. Next is to cut this one open, and it's gonna be a bit on the inside to fit this hole, weld those together. Fastest update. Got 2% battery left. Yesterday I I flipped the entire thing, continued to weld, and then ran out of thread. Late yesterday night, of course, I had to go today and get some new thread. Also, this welder ain't really used to weld this kind of thick material and these kinds of heavy welds. So the overheating protection kicks in every now and then. We'll see how long this survives, or if I need to borrow or buy a bigger welder. So that's that. We have welded it completely shut. I would say that's a solid weld. Well, that's good enough for me. I'm gonna think about how to mount the tank on top of this, because I would like the steel to come as close to each other as possible for the heat of the smaller part to actually heat up the actual charcoal kiln. It's a good sign that it's hot or shut when there's no smoke coming out of the welds and only through the holes we have open right now. I don't know if I'm going to keep those, because they might be good as a air supply. I think I'm going to keep them. They will be easy to shut later on. Lifting this tank on top of the fireplace is, yeah, the beginning actually. So here I can see what I need to cut off before I can, yeah, put the tanks even closer together. And these feet are actually in pretty good place, so we're gonna just cut off the wing in the middle, this part, and then I think I can heat this up so it matches the shape of the other part better. And of course we're going to take off a little bit of that plate sticking up here. I decided, after talking to my brother-in-law Simon, that actually works with steel and so on, because I have been off this build for a couple of days and decided to look for a plasma cutter to make all the incisions. But he was like, you will make that just as good with an angle grinder and some discs. If you don't got any use of the plasma cutter, in otherwise don't spend the money. So, well, I'm gonna give that a try. So we're gonna cut this out, and yeah, we're gonna cut this out and cut some holes down and up for the chimney. But we're gonna start here. So guys, we just opened the tank up, and unfortunately for me, well, I knew this. Grandpa told me that it could contain some really old diesel. So now I just cut a old canister like this open, and I scoop up the mess, pour it into a bigger old Aspen jar. Try not to make too big of a mess.
I'm an expert at overthinking things that I shouldn't. You come across
That was a pain in the ass. And then I'm going to do the same in the other part. Fucking hell! Toaletten.
Du på det.
My youngest just had his first poop on the toilet, and his very proud big brother is running to show him.
Ja! Har du bajsat i toaletten? Nej! Har du gjort det? Give me 5. Bra jobbat! Very proud big brother. Ska du åka till affären?
And now he wants to go to the store and
Oj, ja vi får se vad du hittar. Ja, får åka bil sen.
And this is some boring filming, since it's hard to get it doing any other way. And the light's probably gonna suck. But not too shabby. We're really getting there. Might made a little bit too big of a hole in the actual tank for it, but it's actually really, but for the fire pit it's really close. So I'm not a metal constructor or anything fancy. I'm just a doer. And now I've got both of these pipes cut in the same angle on both sides. That causes for a problem because the pipe that's going down to the fireplace is going to be needed to... No, I mean the other side that's going the opposite direction will be wrong. But I'm gonna weld this one and then cut it off, turn it and weld it the other opposite direction. That way I don't lose any length of the pipes. So that's what we're gonna do. First, this one was cut with an angle grinder. It isn't really as square as the one I did with the tiger saw. So we're just gonna square her up a bit.
I can be a fucking mess, but you somehow like me for me. And all your friends are wasted. You wanna stay here? Oh, we should just stay here. Maybe just for one more drink. I can't help but think, where have you been? All my life, all lonely nights. You were always there at the same damn bar. I just never looked your way. And I've seen every ocean, but I've never seen a color of blue. Look into your eyes.
Hello guys, I didn't do anything productive yesterday. Think I had a little bit too little water, was super tired all day, felt sick in the evening, had a good night's sleep, and I'm back on it. As I said, I did cut these off in the wrong angle, since that's going down in the fireplace, up along the tank, and then the bend should be upwards. So we need to cut that like I did with that and then weld it back in the opposite direction. Let's go. Melt that shit together.
Oh,
So the plan now, after doing that, one of them had a little bit of a, it's a bit out of angle. Anyways, it will be good enough for me. Next part is that, you remember those part I cut off? The exits with an angle. I will use them to not cut any more angles and weld these like that. And as you can see, that goes down to the chimney, to the fireplace, and the chimney continues here to up through the entire tank. So I will be welding this, and that corner here will lead the exhausts or the smoke. So what we did now, I forgot that I had hyperlapse on, recorded and shit, talked a lot, but I figured I don't know what the name of that small saw there is, but with metal blades it cuts really good in this thin metal sheet. So I just cut a big opening here, and the thought in here is to lift that thing and slide the long part inside of here all the way down to the access point where it's gonna get docked in on the fireplace. The thing is that I never mounted these two together due to the plan of easier welding. We want the tank to be completely shut and like airproof, so pressure proof is a better word, but we want it to be pressure proof, and by trying to weld them on top of each other will be hard. I only had a strap around them from the beginning, made the hole. Now we're going to put the chimney inside the tank, weld all the openings shut, lift the tank on top of the fireplace, and weld that as good as we can around here. It doesn't have to be completely shut. I could like stuff other stuff around here just to keep it as good as possible, but that will be a tight place to weld. But yeah, wish me good luck. And now I've just cleaned all the surfaces because it sticks pretty good now. I'm gonna see if I can get a good place to put the camera while I try to do some work. För utnyttja den nu var ju ungefär som den där. Bara för att den var kabel.
grader. Då går jag över, ja, jag kan köra här borta. Och sen som du sa.
När du fyller igen, eller när du ska lägga bara en här, du vill ju bara få så mycket kött som möjligt. Så då spelar det ingen roll hur mycket det liksom flyter ut.
Nej.
Utan då vill du nästan att det ska bli lite roligare.
Ja.
Another crazy hot day. Just had a small birthday gathering for my wife's grandpa Stig, the guy who been supplying me with all this material. And now I'm back. Just had a customer. He came and got 2 ash slabs, 60 centimeters wide. That made me 250 euros approximately. And now I'm back on the build, just trying to fit everything back, and I'm currently here. I did this a little bit too tight on some places, so now I just cut with the tiger saw out this piece of metal. I'm gonna see if I could bash that in using these kind of tools. So we're trying a thing here. I just put in some paper where I'm gonna open up the fireplace, and you can see we got some draft. This is giving air, and you see the chimney. You can see that smoke. And this is to test if we got any leak in here. Next up, it's the gas pipes. And the thing is, they're gonna connect here somewhere on the side, and preferably I will have them go out a bit and then turn straight up to the roof somewhere around here. And how do we do that? We need to make a 20 centimeter cut or piece, so we know it's going to be outside of this edge, because that's mainly about getting the charcoal out of the kiln or the retort. And we're going to do the same on the other side, because since I have 2 chimneys, it's 2 separate systems, so they need to be the same. And the smoke is still coming, and not from anywhere around here. I'm excited. But first we need to cut some pipes. I got an angle. I got a sip of coffee. Cold coffee. We gotta find a marker or pencil so we could mark out the pieces we want to cut. The thing why I did the cut like that is because it has this lid on. We're gonna drill this hole up to a bigger hole, because this is gonna determine how much gas from the wood is gonna suck in and become self-sufficient with the gas. And we're gonna do it about 15 millimeters, because I know other guys have done that on similar sizes. And if we need more gas, we can always extend the hole. And this pipe had the lids on both sides, so we're gonna use that for that. So these are gonna be the posts, and then we need an angle down to the pipe. I hope you can see something. I did draw a circle here and a circle on the other side, approximately on the same space, and I believe that I can weld around it from here. It will be a tricky part on that side, but which is a bit concerning. I'm gonna check again. Yeah, that should work. What the hell, right? So guys, what do you think about this? That's how I want it. Now they are just in the exit, but I figured I can't have them further out because I need to get around to weld it shut. So that's perfect enough. I can rake all the charcoal out from there and still have those accessible. And they reach up just above here somewhere, and they are very equal. So yeah, grind around. I had to make an angle cut like that and then bash the ending so it gets a bit oval for it to fit, but that will be an easy weld instead. Yesterday the time got to, I think it was 10 o'clock before I put down the shop, and today I'm out here and started making noise 8 o'clock. We have already welded that thing around. We're gonna get rid of the slag and weld around it because it got a little bit of a bigger opening on the backside. After that, this shit is done. We still need to find a suitable door. It needs to be a double door. So we're gonna put some, I think we're gonna put some angle iron on the inside. And then we're gonna put the old piece, which I just cut out, against the, what do you call it, the angle irons. And then we're gonna insulate that before we put on the bigger door. That's gonna make it airtight. We also need to drill out some bigger diameter bolts, so we can bolt the door really shut to that entrance.
and after that we will need to fix the top part on the side somewhere somehow. I don't know if I'm gonna cut these, turn them, put them inside. We're gonna do a real fire door here where we're gonna put in firewood. I'm gonna use this piece of metal sheet I'm standing on and make a door with some hinges so you can't get too much, so you can like limit the air supply if you want. Yeah, that's basically where we are at now. Sorry for not including you. Next up, I just drilled a hole just in between the two pipes, and this is going to be like a possibility to add air if the retort or the charcoal kiln doesn't get enough air. So I'm just gonna let's weld that while we're at it, right? Just gonna see what I put in the mask. So I'm back here in the shop, fabric cobbling, and I'm gonna make a sort of a hinge. I took this cut off pipe, I'm gonna weld around it, put this other pipe somewhere around here and let that inner circle be able to move. Then I'm gonna weld one of these cutouts onto that, so well, that's good enough, right? So guys, it's been a while. Yesterday I went down, started welding a bit, and I only welded some angle iron here on the inside of the edge, and that's mainly because I would like to put the lid that I cut out, that part, as a first lid, and then I will put insulation around it and then have a bigger sort of door or something. But yeah, that's just hypothetical ideas. It's just to make the door a little bit more sealed. Other thing is that I've been putting some supports because this top barrel hasn't been I don't know, mounted correctly on the actual fire pit, more than these two ratchet spanners that's been going around, and the fact that I welded around the loop for the chimney that's going down here there, and you really don't want that to be the only thing that holding it together. So I'm gonna cut out 2 more pieces of thicker angle iron, and we're gonna put them in the other end as well. We're gonna cut off these ugly legs, and I think I might use them, but down here or something, or maybe not. Maybe I just throw them to the trash, because I was thinking about using some beams for legs anyways. She's now hooked on 3 places, so it's safe to say that we can unleash these since the first time. Well, it didn't go optimal, but it's quite thick steel. So here's the fire hatch, and it's the first time I'm looking into it. It looks quite good, actually. I did throw a few bits and bobs in here just to see if the smoke was gonna go as I wanted. And it looks good. Why I left this so high is because I want the hot smoke to get trapped up here and then lead all the way up to the chimney in the far end. Go up, come back up to this edge, and then travel up there to heat all the wood inside. And then I also did the hatch like that so I could put a lid on it, hopefully. That's not in the what do I say, urgent part of this build. But it's, of course, it's nice to get stuff fixed and as ready as possible while you're at it. Yeah. I also have a thing to do in a couple of hours. I'm getting to be a godfather for my wife's sister and her husband. They got a small girl. It's not a year ago yet, she's still small, but she's getting baptized today. So I'm gonna hustle as hard as I can until lunchtime, roughly, and then get going with the baptism. We still have a few holes here and there. I did weld those. I did not weld this. I don't know if I'm going to weld these, because some airflow could be good to have, and it's just unnecessary. So next thing would be, I think I'm going to add 2 more of the bottom supports, like in the middle. It looks quite good at the moment, but one there, since I will be lifting it a lot. And then after that it's list time. We're gonna see. Yeah, then it's time to weld the rods and then fix the hatch, the inspection hatch that we got on top of this thing, which I really don't know if I'm going to do or not. It's So we're moving on in a pace now, so I'm a bit bad in the filming and telling you what to do process. And I also told you that I don't even know if this is gonna work, so probably not gonna tell you what to do. You will need to make your own assumption, read about how they work, and figure it out. If it works, you can always do like I do. But I took the top plate off from there, and then I figured it got a small, what do you call it, like radius to it. So I figured if I could just put it under there and then throw a line up, I should be able to just weld it around that in the top. So I think I'm gonna try that. And this is the plan then. So I'm just gonna grind out a bit around here so it's not as rusty as you see. And then we're gonna lift that up and then put it just underneath here. I did it before I grinded out the circle, and that actually was quite a bit outside, so I just took a pencil and drew a line on the inside, and then yeah, you figured it out. If you're looking at me doing this, you probably have the skill to do it yourself. You just want to see somebody else do it first or something. So guys, I'm back here in the shop. It's Sunday, cold morning, and I'm contemplating on my build here. I'm not really sure if I'm doing it the right way at the moment, or if I should do it like a real rigid and real sturdy immediately. If I do it the other way, it will be so much easier to empty this thing, because that's a issue that's been haunting me for a long time now. That gap ain't that big, but it's when you fill it up with wood inside and you make the process and you turn it into charcoal, the amount inside will decrease a lot. So there should be airspace enough to, when you tilt this thing, shit should go out. So I think it's maybe good for a start, the way I'm planning it. And then I can like rethink my life choices after the first run. The thing I'm thinking about is to call a guy at the steel shop, make him do me a big circle that fits over the entire surface on the other side. And then I make another circle that's gonna work as a lid, and we drill the holes just like this thing is. And then we just insulate that really good. And then inside the hole, you can also have like a small piece of metal that you can put a smaller lid inside. But that's, then it's not made out of stuff that I've almost found free, which this is. So yeah, we're gonna continue with the original plan, get this thing fixed. So what I've been doing also is this. I've plugged that hole. Let me see. I plugged that hole, so that's not working anymore. I did do this lid as I wanted. I also cut down the flange. I didn't have any battery yesterday when I did it, and when I was recording just before, and then I forgot to turn the camera off, and then we had a fire alarm, or it was an alarm on the train tracks, but I just ran and the camera died, and then I came back nighttime. I just plugged that hole and then cut this flange off, which was the one we saw on the side. Left to do is clean it a bit, weld it on top of that, cut those to the same height, maybe extend them, and then it's time to insulate this
No, not really. I still need to fill that hole up. I got this plate, so we're gonna put that on that hole. Weld this first, and then we go there. Yep, that's it. It's welded, and that's gonna burn the excess fumes it's gonna build. So, moment of truth. Will she stick together? Well, I'll pull her out. And all of a sudden I got space again. So I just got one of the pipes up there, and that was sweaty. It's just freestanding at the moment. I really don't want that in my head, so I'm probably not gonna film too much at the moment. It could be a good way to record it if I'm dying. Maybe my wife could use the material for a fire or something. Okay, I just fitted one of them. I thought I was recording. I'm not good at this. Second one is coming up, and that is heavier. I'll leave you with that information. The welder just overheated, so it's time for coffee break or something. Be back after commercial. So currently my wife is working and I'm babysitting the ogres. They're in the stroller at the moment, not fighting for once, and I'm continuing with the build. Now insulating, and I had like minor headache about how to get the insulation to get stuck on the retort, so I came up with the idea. I found some fencing that we bought for chickens a while back, and then I figured I have some old rebar bits, so I just welded them like that, and then I could just stick the insulation down to it, and then even lock the fencing against the rebar, and then tighten it as I go, which actually seems to work very good. So this side I welded that entire side. Now I got some small rebar bits and bobs that I will attach on the other side. And when that's done, it's time for some. I'm gonna see if I have some like tin roof or something that I can attach. I'm just gonna check the list and see if I missed anything. Yeah, it's still the door. The guy at the local shop still haven't reached out to me about it. If I would have it done today, it would be done. I could just spend a few minutes every now and then to just fill it up with firewood. And when that's done, I guess I just could start it. But that's not where I'm at. So I'm gonna continue with the stuff that I can do until I'm stuck with stuff I can't do. So this day has been going, and I've just kept hammering it. I've been putting the tin roof on. That was a bitch. They are very long and it's quite windy and they're sharp and shit, but I managed to drill and then press some rivets in so they stay at least, and then I can do it better tomorrow. Tomorrow the carpenter is coming again to help me with another project, something I didn't film, but might do a quick recap on it. Well, that didn't solve anything. It's been a long day. I'm getting quite tired. I was just about to fix the tin roof to the actual, what do we call it? Fire pit. But my metal screws didn't want to penetrate the bottom tank, so I'm quite screwed, to say it literally. Or the retort. I had some really crappy. I had some really crappy like steel self-drilling screws, and they immediately died when they punctured the tin roof and then went into the tank. They just broke off. So I went to our local shop, steel shop, NMV, and got these, and they are beasts. Just gonna see if I can rig this up so you guys can see as good as I can.
simple. And here I just do like this. I have these rivets and a crappy rivet gun. So now this is gonna be this thing, which I just cut out for the two pipes, is gonna be some sort of small roof thingy here. Then it's that piece, which I really don't know how I'm gonna do, together with this one, before we mount the piece of steel I just went to buy. That piece, that's gonna end up as a door for that later problem. Nice when the hatch is giving up on me as well. So I ended up finding some sort of solution to this door thingy. It's actually sort of tight. This is just a flange on the inside, I will show you soon, that I can hammer in to get it really tight. The only thing now is to fit that door, which is a 10mm steel plate that I will just I guess tack on here, and then I'll have the measurements on the side up to those linings, and I will just drill holes through this plate, and then I will put bolts on the inside, weld them, and then this will be a slide on slide off kind of thing. At least what I'm hope. So yeah. So a lot of stuff going on off camera here, but I just welded a small plate here, and it's welded on two lines that I've done before, you know, the corners and that one. So I just welded that onto that lines. Currently she's not on some leveled feet, and I noticed that when I went back in the shop, because the door is angled a bit, and I welded the chimney off how it stands now. That's sort of straight. So when I'm gonna tilt her a bit like this, the pipes will aim straight to someone's house. So anyways, this door is fitted. It's gonna work. It's got some wiggle room, but we will also put a sheet of insulation around here before we mount this door. So what we're gonna do is basically take this sheet, lift it up like that, press it against, and then maybe have a small hammer or something just to align it. It went actually very well. Now, next thing is a pencil, and then we're gonna take a tape measure,
I'm not gonna put that in my mouth. And then we're gonna set this to 4 centimeters, which is 1.5 inch in from the edge, because that's another 3 inches is where the hole starts. So somewhere around here, the actual what do you call it? The actual opening are. So we're gonna have these at 1.5 inch. So that's what we're gonna do now. Just mark it out, and then that's where we're gonna drill. Anyway, all the holes are done. I'm just cleaning up the surface. It's gonna be something like this. And now we got the 10mm drill on it, so we could just make So guys, new morning here, and I would like to consider myself done with this project, at least almost. That hatch is gonna be on the inside. I haven't really put any force into this to close it, but I couldn't line the holes up, so I ended up cutting it up like that, and then it fitted not very easy, but easy enough. Easy enough without a handle. So that's next thing to do, is to weld a handle on here, but before I do that I will move it to the correct site where it's supposed to be. Yeah. She's strapped to the forks. We're gonna lift her up. That's gonna be the high point, which I maybe want to lock with some chains around this one, maybe, just so it doesn't fuck around.
fiddly because here I need to turn, and my wife got a customer here, so I need to turn, which gonna make me angle towards the side I don't want to angle. So guys, it's Sunday, really don't know the date, but I think it's time to kickstart this retort in the butt. It's a super damp day. I've been chopping wood a couple of hours yesterday, and she's currently like loaded to the brim. Here she is, loaded up. And I have done some sort of experiment with pieces. I mean sizes and so on. Now I'm gonna go and get the first hatch, some insulation, and a 15 millimeter wrench. Now let's see. If this is gonna work the way I intended it to. Got that there, that there. Yeah, that looks sealed up. Nice. The insulation maybe got a bit big. Something like that. And then we have the now quite rusty hatch. Det där är en godisråtta. Du är en godisråtta.
it's a lot of water evaporating, so we've been, I don't know. So yeah, it's a lot of water getting evaporated, but currently we're at like 3.5 hours of continuously feeding this beast, and it's been raining and it's blowing cold, so it's quite miserable. I'm just gonna sharpen the chain on the 500 and I'll be back out again. Nope, still just water evaporating. We're at hour 5. So we're in the sixth hour at the moment. We both think we really didn't like put the amount of firewood required to get the. I mean, you can't really put too much fire in this thing, and the more you do, the quicker the moisture of the wood will evaporate. So maybe we could have cut an hour or something. We'll see if we're gonna get it done. I'm in the loader at the moment. It's quite rainy, and this is how it looks. I got the leaf blower on the floor blowing into the forge there, and then we have the small pipe there. It's straight in the wood barrel, so that should just evaporate water. And then we got the 2 top pipes smoking from the forge. What I'm waiting for is that to start smelling a lot more like shit and be less watery, or how I'm gonna say it. But it's also raining a lot. My wife's grandpa Stig just left for some supper. I haven't even eaten breakfast today. 2 cups of coffee, 3-4 cups of coffee maybe today. So I'm behind on that as well. New morning. It's really early. I went to bed around 11 yesterday, which is late for me. This morning I'm out 5 o'clock. Looks like the steel plates that I put on the water on the evaporate pipe actually worked. They're still there. It's still wet and soggy everywhere. I'm gonna see if I can blow some air into the forge and get it going just a bit. And of course I left that shit in my car. So I'm gonna go and get that. So I was cleaning the garage at the same time while I was feeding this thing. And now I could actually see the smoke pillar, and that's a different color. And it smells just a little bit different, so we're gonna see if we can kick this in the butt and also film somehow. To crazy temperatures, and you really need to wait for like 80 hours before you open it, otherwise the charcoal inside could self-combust and start burning when you open it as soon as it gets air. And this is the first time I'm opening it. It could be complete failure and be empty because all of it have burned up, and that's if one of the welds turned out to be bad. So
And who welded it?
me, myself, and
Odds. Split.
So when it combusted, it just blows him off.
Then we have another hatch. And
Jesus.
now I remember that I will need a hammer somewhere around here. Sensor hatch. No, I think I will be able to open this.
It's looking good. Ay papi!
And when it's white, it's a sign of air coming in. So it did catch fire. But look at this fucking charcoal. This is exciting, very exciting. This is sustainable charcoal. Yeah, this is really cool. But I can see quite clearly that this was completely packed, like completely packed.
That's cool.
It is really
That's
cool.
Very cool.
So guys, I'm currently emptying the retort and I'm filling it up to 8 kilo bags because that's the majority of the guys asked for big bags, 10 kilos to 15, but this is 60-liter bags. So I'm gonna work with what I first bought, and for the next load I'm gonna see what I get. Got 1/3 left. So maybe 20 bags, I don't know. So I'm just done. Emptied her out, shut her up, and we got just under 250 kilos, and that's mainly because I emptied a lot during the event a couple of weeks ago, and we've been barbecuing a lot as well. So 30 bags of 8 kilo each should do it for me a while. That translates to roughly 900 USD or euros or whatever, and that's just from my waste. So it's time for the second batch. I've cut that just after I finished the first one, which was roughly 2-3 weeks ago, so it's a little bit drier, but not a hell of a lot. So we're gonna try it again. Currently filling her up. We got some chunky stuff. This is also just for trying, but you see this piece, it's massive. Leaving that there. We got some thinner stuff in the shallow part, because that's where it's the hardest for it to get done, so to say. And here comes the last pieces, mainly to just fill her to the brim. But it's packed in here, so might even be, whoops, almost dropped you, might even be hard to close it. But this is how it looks, completely packed, sturdy pieces, and this is how I do it. I have these two flanges, as I showed you in the video, so I just put the one
one in the bottom first, and then I scoot it over so I can see that it's sliding behind. Scoot it back, and now it's behind. Like that. Tight. I really hope I don't drop any bags, because I did not put great amount of time in storing these boogers the best way possible. Anyways, I think that's the end of this episode. Thank you if you watched all the way here, and comment if you think I should do any other crazy stuff like this, or if you even thought this was interesting. Anything, give me your opinion. Bye.